riding superstars. Today in this video I'm going to teach you about canter, the importance of having a good canter, how do you improve the canter, how do you make the canter better, and lots more. The gorgeous Wessel is going to help me with today's video. He is a warm blood by Jazz, I believe. He is owned by the amazing Kylie Ridgway, and I'm super honoured to be able to do this video on him. He's trained Prix St George into one, and he's going to have a lot of fun helping us with this video today. Now, what is a good canter? I think that's important that we define what that is, otherwise we don't know what we're working towards. So to me, a good canter is firstly that it's rhythmical. So a canter is a 3-beat movement. It has to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If it's doing what some people call a tranter, or it's a 4-beat canter, that's not good. So rhythm is one of the most, it's the most important thing when it comes to dressage. So we need to have a rhythmical 3-beat canter. Now then, the next thing about what does having a good canter mean, to me it's adjustability. Whether you're show jumping, eventing, riding dressage, whatever you're doing, you need to be able to adjust the canter. So that to me is the most important thing when we think about the canter. So how to improve the horse's canter? So when I think about Wessel and I think about, okay, I need to make his canter even better and even more expressive and even stronger, I use a canter pirouette exercise. So it's a working canter pirouette, and you can see what I've done is I've just split him in half, and I've asked his head, whoops, too much hind leg, his head and his hind legs to come in, whoops, keep cantering, like a half pass on a circle. So I'm constantly just saying, hey, can you bend and come around? So at any time I could obviously turn a piro, but I don't really want him to. Like, that's not the purpose of the exercise. The purpose is to just have him split in half. Come on, more hind legs, 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 and split. Good boy. And that exercise obviously gets his hind legs stronger, gets his taking more weight behind, so he can be lighter in front and more expressive. Now obviously we might not be there yet, so if Wes was a 4-year-old horse, what I'd be doing with Wessel is taking him down the long side, and what I might do is I might just ask for a bit of TRAVER. Well, maybe not a 4-year-old, yeah, maybe a 4-year-old, but definitely a 5-year-old. I'm going to ask for some TRAVER. So that's that first look at the half pass shape, and we're just saying, hey, can you bring your hind legs in, or especially that outside hind leg now has to come inside and come under his body a bit more. So that's going to strengthen him up. If you're on a horse that can't do TRAVER yet, you might do just the hint of TRAVER. Whoops. So that's just the hint of it. It's not exaggerated like that. So you could just, that's what I do with my young horses. I start them in TRAVER quite early, but it's just the idea of it. It's just the hint of it. The other thing you might do, if you've really got a 3-year-old and they're just bowing around like that, you're just going to add a circle. And it might be a 15-metre circle to start with, but that 15-metre circle will mean that the horse will have to bring its hind leg under its body just a little bit more. So you go from circles to smaller circles to smaller circles to a hint of TRAVER into an exaggerated TRAVER into a working piro. The other thing you need to do is teach the horse to go forward and collect. How to introduce collection. So it's kind of the same stuff. Obviously if you're on a 3-year-old, pretend Wessie is just, whoops, broken in. And what he's going to do is he's going to be cantering around like this a little bit, except a little bit more on the forehand. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, hey, sit back, whoops, sit back, collect. And if he doesn't, I mean Wessie did, but if he doesn't, I'm just going to come again on a circle. 15-metre circle, 10-metre circle, 12-metre circle, 8-metre circle, 13.275 circle. Doesn't really matter, just a circle that requires the horse to sit back a little bit. And then once we hit the long side, they tend to gallop off a bit. And I go, that's great, sit back. And the horse won't respond, so you just put him on a circle. The circle puts the horse's body in a position that means he has to collect ever so slightly. And obviously the smaller the circle, the more he has to collect. So if he was taking off, and I go, oh, don't do that, and I might do a small circle. Turn, turn, and you can see I haven't told him to slow down, I've just told him to turn. And the turning is the exercise that is asked for the collection. Go, and eventually then they know the circle's coming, and you can just collect with your body, it's not the hands, and they will come back to collection with your body. Okay, a lot of people struggle with getting their horse on the correct lead. Getting the horse on the correct lead, oh, it's so hard getting the horse on the correct lead. It is. Basically, don't worry if your horse goes on the incorrect lead, it's not that he can't canter on the correct lead, it's that your horse isn't straight. So, let me see if I can get him on the wrong lead. So if I overbend him this way, see how all his weight is actually going to the outside? And then if I say canter, oh, he did it the right lead. You're not meant to. Basically, this is a really, if the horse is in this position, it's actually a really easy, see how he's just drifting to the outside? It's a very easy position to get the incorrect lead. So you have to control the shoulder. You have to think about the outside of the shoulder and making sure that you've got it. See how I can yield him in? Now you want the horse, sure, to be soft to the inside, can't be blocked to the inside, but he can't be pushing out with his outside shoulder anyway. So you want your trot to be straight, nose in the middle of the chest, even weight in both hands. Sure, a softness to your inside rib cage, and then when you feel that you've got the shoulders where they need to be, the bend where it needs to be, then it's just outside leg back and pop. But I know that makes it look super easy, and you're like, well, hang on, it doesn't look like that when I do it. I wish we had more video cameras back when I was learning how to ride. I remember being in my grade 4 pony club test, completely on the wrong leg, with a big smile on my face, going, I cantered at the marker. I wasn't even aware there was an incorrect lead and a correct lead. So we all start somewhere, and the more you just learn, there's so many free stuff on the internet, you can go check out my YouTube channel, there's a million things you can do, and when you start to realise, when you get it wrong, when something bad happens in your training, that's a good thing, it's telling you what you're missing. You might be missing straightness, or you might be missing contact, or you might be missing rhythm. So go back and fix that, and then the trick, which is the canter aid or the trot aid or the half pass, whatever you're working on, will drastically improve when you fix what the core is. There's a basics and a core that you have to always be thinking about when you're riding dressage, and when you get that right, all the tricks come a little bit easier. Remember, 1% increment improvements lead to 100% improvement in 100 days. So riding is very much, I always have a quote that I figured out when I was about 18 years old when it came to riding. I wrote down in my riding journal, nobody sees the grass grow, but it grows, as we all know, because we have to mow it. So that's how I think of my riding journey. No one will see my progress day to day, but as long as I'm making that tiny little bit of progress, that tiny little bit of grass growth every single day, in 100 days you're going to have to mow the lawn, or in my case, hopefully, wow, look what that horse can do. So enjoy your training, enjoy your cantering, and leave a comment below on what you're going to do differently after watching this video.